Dolores Hirschmann from Masters in Clarity, and let's dance! My hair is a disaster today, you can tell, because there's so much humidity. Let's dance! So, where are you calling from? Tell me. Start chatting on the Facebook, on the chat, and tell me where are you calling from? Let me start the chat here. Hello, everyone. Leah from LA, welcome. How's my friend B doing? Okay. 12 is online. Let me just close the music. Welcome. Deborah, hello. Where are you calling Deborah from? Thanks, Leah. Say hi to Dee for me. If you're having any trouble with audio or your screen, just let my team know. Jessica is there waiting to answer any question you might have that are technical questions. And keep on, as I start the presentation, put your questions on the chat so I can answer them as we go along. Deborah, welcome from Baltimore. So as I said, my name is Dolores Hirschmann from mastersinclarity.com. And what you can expect today from me is any question you might have around landing at TEDx stage. I will do my best to answer it. You can expect some dancing. You can expect my candles, my flowers that are always with me. And we are going to spend the next 30, 40 minutes talking about your idea and talking about TEDx. So without further ado, I'm going to start the presentation. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Jessica, Lisa's having some problems. So Alisa, if you have to keep only the audio if you're having a poor internet connection. So here we go. Let's share the screen. From mastersinclarity.com, and I am super excited to be here with you today. I would like to start by acknowledging you who have taken time to join me on this webinar today. As we start the presentation right now, keep on chatting on the chat room and tell us where you're coming from. I will be asking you questions as I go along with the presentation. Today, we're going to talk about ideas worth sharing, and we are going to talk about TEDx. And we're going to talk about you, the change maker. I'm here to give you insights on how to bring your ideas into the world, specifically sharing your ideas from a TEDx stage. As a TEDx organizer, I see lots of applications every year that do not make it through the curating process for a simple lack of clarity or ways to communicate what they have to share. These are ideas that need to be heard, that the world needs. If you're on this webinar today, you probably are either wondering about speaking as a way to move your message forward, or you're wondering, are you ready for a stage? Any stage. I may be wondering, how can speaking, especially on a TEDx stage, help you grow your business? Let's tech. You tell me, what are you looking to get out of this webinar? What kind of work do you do? Write it on the chat so I can make sure that I address what you want to get out of this webinar. So here's our agenda for today. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about me and how I arrived to where I am today. I will then jump right into what you are looking to learn, and as promised in the invitation, I will also give you the chance to ask any questions you might have. I will stay until all the questions are answered, okay? So let's get started. My name is Dolores Hirschmann, as I said, and many of you might already be wondering where is my accent from. I am originally from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I've been in the US in Massachusetts for the last 20 years. Together with my husband, we have 4 children ages 11 to 17. I have spent all of my life at the edge of my comfort zone, literally. As I was preparing for this presentation, I wanted to share a picture that showed a bit of my spirit. That picture that you see there was taken in 1996, feels like a lifetime ago, in Sabah, insular Malaysia, where I spent 3 months doing community work, living in the jungle, literally in a hammock between two trees. I left my cozy home in Argentina to explore my own mental and physical boundaries, and trust me that I found them, and actually quickly stretched beyond them. You see, much as I don't like discomfort any more than you do, I cherish the growth that happens when I challenge myself, when I move beyond what I think is possible. This is the spirit of the people I work with as well. They are willing to go beyond their comfort zone in service of their ideas and the message that they bring to the world. And it is the spirit as well that led me in 2012 to explore bringing the TED Talk experience to my community by becoming a TEDx organizer. Who here is a TED fan, and what is your favorite talk of all times? Type it on the chat. So today I actually lead and curate one of the largest TEDx events in the New England area between Boston and Providence, with over 1,000 people in attendance every year. And it is this spirit that has led me in many adventures. I have started and launched over 5 companies. I've gone back to school in the last 5 years to study coaching so I can help people move out of the way of their ideas that they need to bring to the world. I've coached over 50 speakers on the TED speaking format only in the last 12 months. I've written 2 books. I've organized 3 TEDx events, with the last 2 with over 1,000 people in attendance. I've attended 3 official TED conferences around the world, and I've worked with over 100 businesses on taking their ideas from dreams to successful growing companies. I also volunteer and mentor for incubators and startup weekend around the world. And it's truly through my work as a mentor, judge, and curator that I truly connected with my calling. I am passionate about ideas. I'm passionate about creating, clarifying, strategizing, and making reality ideas that have a positive impact in the world. I have even come up with the term, ideapreneur. Type yes, or that's me, if you identify yourself as an ideapreneur. Ideapreneur is an entrepreneur that is not just committing to a project or a business. It is committing to an idea, a philosophy, a way of changing and impacting the world. And while the how might change through time, the spirit never does. Deborah, yes, you're one. Denise, you're one. I see it. They commit, and you, Denise, Carrie, Deborah, you guys commit 100% to your ideas. These ideas, in some ways, have hunched you down until that you finally said yes and rolled up your sleeves. It is in this work of curator, mentor, and judge also where I learned the talent many ideapreneurs have when looking to communicate their ideas. I recently was a judge for a startup weekend here in Massachusetts, and during the final pitch contest where the teams present their ideas and their business plan, I came to realize that in many situations like this, the winner is not necessarily the best idea, but the team that can better communicate their idea. And that day was no different. The winner had a great idea, but it was not the best idea. Who has ever not won a competition or got selected for something simply for lack of communication skills or for lack of clarity in the communication strategy? Say I if that's you. So as I said, the winner had a good idea, but it was not the best idea. There were 1 or 2 other ideas that had the potential to have a higher positive impact in our lives, but those ideas did not win. They did not go to the second round, nor did they get the funding that they needed. They were not properly communicated. I actually see this every time in the curating process when we're choosing TEDx speakers for our event. With over 200 applications for only 15 or 16 slots, volunteer curators need to move quickly through the candidates. And many times there are speakers that while they can have a good idea, their application does not make them justice. Even when we select them for a first round of interviews, and by the way, Jessica typed this, here's a tip. If you ever apply for a TEDx stage and you get selected for an interview, the likelihood is very high that the curating team will ask you, what is your idea worth sharing? And can you state your idea in 6 words or 1 sentence? Whenever I ask this question, I typically get a long pause before the prospect can organize their thoughts and try to state their idea in a clear and concise way. You see, it takes a lot of clarity to be brief, to the point, clear. It is because of this that I'm here today talking about clarity. I am in a quest to help you guys, Deborah, Denise, Elisa, Carrie, and everybody in this call today. I'm in a quest to help you, the ideapreneur, get the resources, the platform, and the momentum that you need to have your idea impact the world. I'm actually taking a stand for you, the change maker. I believe that every single idea deserves a platform, the opportunity to share with the world and create an impact. That's why I help ideapreneurs clarify, craft, and pitch their ideas worth sharing. But I want to tell you more about how I do this. For this, I've created a program that holds the ideapreneur's hand and leads them through the process of clarifying, crafting, and pitching their ideas. This program works. Take, for example, Dr. O'Keefe. Dr. O'Keefe, a well-established cardiologist, author, he's been ranked America's top doctor for 10 consecutive years, and he's even a seasoned TEDx speaker. He spoke at an event a few years ago, with his talk having now been viewed by over 400,000 viewers. You might say he probably did not need my help. Well, Dr. O'Keefe came to me because he had a new idea he wanted to share with the world. It was aligned with his professional background, but it was an idea, and it is an idea, that is very close to his heart, and one that has the potential to open a conversation in a topic that is very critical in our world today. Together, we designed a pitch that will allow him to present his idea to potential events. Within 4 months of working together, he not only has been selected to speak, he's also super clear about his idea, and he's also more committed than ever to his message. And he delivered his talk in 2016, and within the first 4 months of his talk going live, he has been viewed by over 800,000 people. Jessica, please type there. Dr. O'Keefe, 800,000 people. Great, Margot. What was it that you wrote? Margot says, so valuable, wrote that down. Type it on the chat so everybody can share what you picked up. Let me tell you also about Kim. Kim Fuller. She's a photographer, she's an author, and a mindful and mindset teacher. Kim wanted to combine her skills as a photographer, her personal story of adoption, and the work that she does as a mindset teacher into a talk that would inspire, instruct, and activate her audience. Within a few weeks of working together, Kim not only was able to craft her talk and get a standing ovation, and I was witness to that. It was beautiful. Her talk also became the driver for her book and the growth of her business. She actually said to me a few weeks after her speaking event, her TEDx, she said that after going through the process of clarifying her idea was sharing and preparing for her talk, she realized how much that process in itself, independent of the stage, was critical to the growth of her business. Every entrepreneur, she said, should write their TED Talk whether they will ever deliver it or not. So she stressed the importance of clarifying. Part of the reason for this is one of the things about TEDx, and Jessica, please write this down on the chat, is that in order to be on a TEDx stage, you have to move away from talking about what you do to talking about what you stand for, the philosophy of your company and the business that you're in. And that, while it sounds easy enough to do, is really hard when you get to find that cornerstone idea behind everything that you do. So you must be thinking, what's the secret, right? Let me share 5 strategies that will help you begin the journey towards a TEDx stage. And yes, we will start with clarity because it is the basis of everything that we do here. Step 1 is clarity. Clarify your idea worth sharing. As I mentioned earlier, clarity in your idea is key to moving your message forward. One exercise that I usually take my clients through is to help them pose the question they're looking to answer. Let me give you an example. How many of you are familiar with Simon Sinek's TEDx talk that's inspired his book, Start With Why? Say I. Say I if you're familiar with Simon's talk. In his talk, where he talks about Start With Why, Simon is looking to answer the following question. What is the fastest way to improve the success of individuals and corporations? He answers this question with his idea behind his talk, which is to encourage leaders to start with why so that they can inspire others. Now, Jessica, please write this down. If you haven't, here's a framework that I use extensively in my coaching. 2 actions so that outcome. I'm going to repeat Simon's idea statement. 2, action. 2, encourage leaders to start with why so that outcome they can inspire others. So 2 actions so that outcome. The test of fire, try stating your idea worth sharing in a short sentence or 6 words. When you do that successfully, you know you're clear. Let's go to strategy number 2. Validate your idea. Who here in this room right now believes that you have a very unique idea and there's not one person out there in the world talking about what you're talking about? Is there anybody in this room that would feel that your idea is unique 100%? Chances are that if I ask you this, and I ask you, why are you uniquely positioned to speak about this topic? You will answer that, well, there's other people talking about this. Here's what is important when you state your idea worth sharing. While there may be other people talking, yes, Margaret, it can be concerning, right? Well, the truth is, there's a lot of other people out there talking about helping people with speaking. There's a lot of other people who say, I am a TEDx coach. And they all have their own unique way of going about it. You too, while you might be talking about something that other people are talking about, consider yourself lucky. Why? One, if you feel passionate about what you're talking about and you feel that it has a great potential for impact and that you know that other people are talking about that, then there's more people on your cause. There's more people on this positive impact. So count them as your friends, not your enemies. Number two, if there's a lot of people talking about the same stuff that you are, then think about it as that is how much need there is in the market, that there's more people than just me. Also see it as a sign of the capacity of the market to incorporate your idea. And now let's make it unique. It is very important when you talk about your idea that you make it unique to you. So how do we do that? I always ask, what stories and experiences bring your idea to life? You have to position yourself and don't be afraid to get out there with your idea, test it, and find the way that makes your idea unique. Specifically, if you are a coach, consultant, or any other type of service entrepreneur, you have to make sure that your idea is posed in a very unique way. As I was saying, there are almost no new ideas out there, but your unique perspective and the way you present it is new. So don't be shy, be bold, stand out. Let the organizers know why you are the one to talk about this. Let me also remind you that having a great story does not mean you have a great TEDx talk. Stories are secondary characters of your talk. Let's move on to strategy number 3. And now we're going to shift from how you position your message, and I'm going to shift to what are some strategies you should consider when applying to speak? So when looking to apply to speak, you want to first look local. Let me tell you what TEDx events are. TEDx events are a license granted by TED that allows independent organizers from different communities to bring a TED-like experience to their community. These events are organized by volunteers to enrich the places, cities, and towns that they live. So if you're active in your community, approach organizers and events there first. They are looking to bring to the stage the voices that are making an impact right there in your backyard. Does that make sense? Say yes, it makes sense. Let's go to strategy number 4. Do your research and align your talk with the theme of the event. Not all TEDx events are created equal. Before applying to speak, make sure you are clear on the theme that the organizers have chosen. Don't force it, but align your idea with the theme. If you truly believe that there's a match, do not make it forced. While not every event has a theme, many actually do. Also, if you have a message that is specifically geared to a particular audience, like youth or women, look for events like TEDx Youth, TEDx Women, and TEDx Universities. Nowadays, a lot of universities are putting up their own TEDx's. Those are actually great venues to speak at because they typically have a really good production. Any questions so far? Post them in the chat. So let's move on to strategy number 5. Strategy number 5, commit. Fall in love with your idea. Your clarity is part of the process, but committing to roll up your sleeves, to stretch beyond your comfort zone in service of your idea is what will take you the distance. In some ways, curators can smell if someone is looking to stand on a TEDx stage for the prestige and recognition for themselves versus because they are in service of their idea. There is a big difference. Ask yourself that question. Is your idea more important than your fears, your self-doubt, or your safety zone? So, but truly, I can't stress this enough. Do you want to know the secret of landing your TEDx stage? Connect with your passion and become unstoppable. And commit to sharing your idea no matter what. Let me tell you a story. I worked with a client last year, and she and I worked on her talk and the clarity for her message, and she began with the application process. The first few emails or applications that she submitted, she got a few no's, and she would send me an email and said, I am so discouraged. I am so frustrated. I will never get my TEDx stage. Nobody wants my talk. And I urged her and empowered her and said, keep on moving forward, keep on applying. There will be a stage that is the right stage for you. And so one day she emails me, she forwards me actually an email, and she said, I think they made a mistake. And the email was an email of acceptance. A stage had selected her and her talk to be featured in the upcoming TEDx event, which happened last April 2017. But because she was in this frame of mind that it was never going to happen for her, she didn't even see the yes. So I celebrated all along her commitment, even though she was really frustrated and her mindset wasn't there. She continued plowing forward and eventually got selected. So this is one of those situations where giving up is not an option. If you really want to be selected, then keep on adding applications once you're clear on your message. Why? Because the world can't wait. Your idea is bigger than everything else that is stopping you. Your fears, you're staying in your comfort zone, you're procrastinating, your self-doubt. So let's review. These are the 5 steps that I'm offering you today on how to begin the process of landing your TEDx stage. Step number 1 is all about clarity. The test of fire, make sure you can state your idea in 6 words or a very short sentence. Step number 2, validate your idea. While there are maybe a lot of people out there talking about what you're talking about, make your idea or state your idea in a very unique way. If you have a particular experience with your idea or a particular story around it, make sure that you use your stories in purpose of your idea. Again, it's not about the story, but it's about the idea. Step number 3, at the time of applying, begin by looking local. If you live in a big city, that's actually fairly easy. If you don't, then you might have to stretch a little bit beyond your town or your community to find stages where to talk on. Step number 4, do your research. Make sure that you understand who the audience for this TEDx event is. And if they have a theme, then make sure you understand what the theme is about, what the curators are trying to relate to their audience. Step number 5, commit. Become unstoppable in the pursuit of your stage. And as I said at the beginning, I'm not sure how this webinar caught your attention, but one thing I know is that somehow, somewhere, you are curious about what would happen if you dare to bring your message to a larger audience, if you dare to play bigger, if you dare to become the spokesperson, the cheerleader, the advocate for your idea. So you're probably wondering, which of these strategies can you implement right now? Maybe what has resonated with you is the process of clarifying your idea, or the steps for finding and applying for the right stages, or maybe something else I've said. You can take these strategies and figure it out, or you can shorten the learning curve. We all have choices. We have options on where we put our attention and how we accomplish our goals. Let me ask you a question. How soon do you want to be on that TEDx stage? Type it on the chat. So you know you have a powerful message. You impact the world with your work, one client, one product, one action at a time. You know this. How do you communicate it, find resonance? How do you move forward with this, establish the credibility you need to make an impact? You need a path to clarify and put this clarity into action. Let me tell you a secret. TEDx speakers are not uniquely talented. They're actually intentional, and intentional means that they put the effort on what really matters. It's all about clarity plus strategy. Denise, you want to be ASAP? Margot, great question. Jessica, keep Margot's question. I'm going to answer that in the Q&A in just a few minutes. So now what? You have your 5 steps. Now we can go and land at TEDx, or you can get some help. Save a lot of time and create an application that will land you at TEDx stage. That's exactly what I've planned for you, because you, the ideapreneur, need to get your idea into the world now. So let me tell you about what this looks like. I've put together a program based on the lessons I've learned working with prospect and selected speakers in the last 2 years. I worked with the speakers and I've learned what works and what doesn't, and I've put it all together so that you don't have to make the same mistake as many of the prospect speakers we see through the application process for our event. I've actually broken down the process of clarifying, writing, and pitching so that it is not only doable and easy, it is actually a lot of fun. Together, we will clarify your idea. We will find the unique way to position it. And we also get validation. We're going to go out and share our idea with your network and see what resonates with them. Again, it's about matching your unique perspective with your idea. I also will teach you the elements of a successful talk. We will find the stories, which I call the supporting actors and actresses, that will help your idea, which is the main character. You will write your talk, and we will get it ready for the stage. We will also create the elements, abstract, title, bio, you need to successfully pitch your talk to curating teams, producers, and organizers. Hey, it may even shift the copy on your website and become the outline of your next book. Trust me, I've seen it. We will also explore the role and the use of humor in your talk, and we will create and define resonance with your audience. This is the work that I do with my clients, and it not only helps them land and deliver at TEDx, it actually affects how they show up in the world, how they communicate their value proposition, and how they play a bigger game. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. I want you to hear from someone I've worked with in the past.
Dolores is the one who helped me get clear on Activate Your Greatness. She was able to see in helping me with my TED Talk, she was able to see the real essence of what I do. And I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you, Dolores.
By the way, I don't know if anybody knows who Fabienne is. She is a very well-known business coach, an activator. I call her an activator. And after we worked together on her TEDx, she ended up redesigning her company and her brand, and she even changed her name. Why? Because when she moved from talking about what she does to talking about what she stands for, it completely shifted the energy of her work, and it brought her to her new level. And now she's pretty much doubled the size of her company and added a lot of programs that wouldn't have fit under her old umbrella. But let me tell you this program is not for everyone. I want you to hear from you and say, it's me when as I read the different statements. This program is only for you if you're ready to take your message to the next level. If that's you, type, that's me. This program is only for those people who want to land at TEDx stage in the next 12 months. It's for people who either have or are about to publish a book and want to start promoting the message. It's also for people who are looking to raise awareness, following, are looking to bring a conversation into the world. And also is for people who are ready to have fun, to play big, to challenge themselves, to stretch and to grow. Margot, that's you. Awesome. This program is for those who are not afraid to dig deep and explore within, who are ready to learn and be vulnerable on stage. It is for those who are courageous enough to take action and begin the next stage of growth. If this is you, then welcome. So let me tell you about what this would mean. This program is a $997 program, but twice a month I open the program for only $397. Why do I do this? Because I can't wait for you to have the time, the money, the confidence, the this, the that. I need you to spread your message now for the benefit of all of us. Again, this offer is only offered twice a month, and this is the last time I'm going to offer it this month. And actually, in July, I probably will not offer it because I take some downtime with my family. Deborah, you're in. Margot, you're in. That's awesome. Jessica, please put the link of this program on the chat so that people can look at that. So let me tell you a little bit more before you commit, because I want to make sure that if you're going to do this, you're going to do this well. This is the how. This is the how we accomplish so much. This program is designed to be completed in as little as 9 weeks, but I support you in this process for a whole 3 months, 12 weeks. Imagine, in less than 90 days, you can start applying to speak at a TEDx event around the world. Here are some of the hows and the features of this program. You're going to have 6 group coaching calls. This means 6 calls, 60 minutes each, where I will be there live with you, answering and holding your hand as you begin the process of clarifying and pitching your message. You'll be supported, and you're going to be masterminding with fellow speakers, learning from each other and getting coaching from me on these live Q&A calls. I also provide a private forum, a private online group where you can come and let us help you get feedback and wordsmith your talk and your pitch. You will get every single week a module that will break down the process of clarifying, crafting, and pitching your talk so that it never feels overwhelming and that it actually feels, as I said, a lot of fun. And you will also, which this is new when I launched this a few months ago, every single month, and you will get one gift in this call at the end of the webinar, but every single month I deliver a list of open applications where you can apply to speak anywhere in the world. For now, we're only offering English-speaking events, but actually English and Spanish. because I'm from Argentina. So we're offering English and Spanish open events, but I have clients that are applying in China, in Singapore, in Malaysia, all over the world. Why do I do this? Because one of the hardest things about this process is finding the freaking application. You have no idea how hard it is to find the events that have open applications. So I will be offering an updated list of where to apply every single month on the first week of the month. So, oh, I almost forgot. There's a bonus. There are always bonuses, right? Here are other ways that I will support you. These are bonuses that will make this the time for you to grow your wings and spread your message. Bonus number 1, the first 5 people to purchase a program right now on this call will get a private 30-minute session with me. I just had one of those calls this morning with one of my group clients that enrolled earlier this month. And he said, oh my God, in just 30 minutes, I now actually know what I'm doing. And he's now off and running with his idea, with his clarity. And he is ready to start crafting his talk and applying. There's other ways I support you. I have a whole process of helping you. Once you get the clarity of your core idea is, okay, other than your talk, where else can you take it? I support you in teaching you how to get other speaking engagements and how to leverage your talk, how to close a room. I was speaking at an event last week. I spoke to a room of 300 people, and I used my strategy to get people to sign up to my mailing list so that they would get receive newsletters from me. I had 250 names on a piece of paper before I left the room. If you want to convert the rooms where you're speaking at, then this is a program for you as well. There's other ways I support you. Email support. You can email my team with any questions you have, and we'll strive to answer your questions within 24 hours. No questions asked. We are there for you. The other thing, and this is kind of a little bit of a surprise, I haven't properly launched it, but I will be hosting a TEDx experience in the fall, and you guys will have first choice on that event at a discounted price. Now, this is the time. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? You now decide to move forward with this dream of yours. There is absolutely nothing to lose. My programs are 100% guaranteed. If I'm not adding value to you, then please email me within the first week and I will refund your investment. There is nothing to lose except the opportunity to save some money and make this dream come true for you, your business, your idea, and the work you're called to do. This program begins right away, and our group calls are on the first and third Thursday of the month at 2 p.m. East Coast time. All calls are also recorded in case you can't attend in person. Now, Jessica has a link there. Click on the link right on your panel and commit to sharing your idea with the world. I will actually hold your hand through the whole process from that moment on. Now, let's open up for some Q&A while many of you take a moment to sign up for this. And once you sign up, just say me on the chat so I know who's getting the private calls with me. Remember, the first 5 participants to sign up get a private meeting with me. That is valued at $500. And now start typing your questions on the chat, and my team will help me sort them through. I'm going to stop the sharing so I can actually see you. Let's see, stop the sharing, start the camera. I'm back. Hey. So I'm looking at, yeah. So Deborah, you're in. Awesome. I can't wait to talk with you. So I have a question. So Margot, you had a question. How soon is a reasonable time to expect to be on a TEDx stage? That is a great question. So as I said, not every TEDx is created equal. You want to make sure that you're speaking at an event that has a really strong production. Why? Because as a speaker, if you're going to volunteer your time, and by the way, if you didn't know this, TEDx speakers do not get paid to speak. But in return, you get gifted with an amazing video on a TEDx stage. So you want to speak to at an event that has a great production with a great video. For that, you want to look at events. If it's June right now, you want to be looking at events that will happen in late October, November, and on. Why? Because until about 2 to 3 months before the event happens, because they leave the next 2 to 3 months for preparation. Does that make sense? Margot, let me know if I properly answered your question. Deborah, you say you have a few ideas and you're posting them there. Perfect. Here's something about a question I get all the time. I have multiple talks in me. Well, that might be true. Where you want to start is you want to start understanding what is the core talk, like the basis of everything that you do first. And then if down the road you have more talks, then you can figure that out. But you want to have one core talk that is kind of the umbrella of your business or your message, so that it can be your calling card. Let me give you an example. I worked with a client a few years ago. He came to me. He said, "This is what I do." He's a doctor. He is a professor at a very prestigious university. And he says, "But I've experienced this all my life, and I want to talk about this, but I never really dared to bring this message out." So we worked on his idea and we worked on his talk, and he delivered a really successful TEDx talk. This was 2 years ago. About 3 weeks ago, he emails me. He says, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Of course I remember you." And he says, "Do you remember our talk?" And we worked on my TEDx. And he said, "I want you to know that TEDx talk became a book proposal, and I've been working with an agent for about a year, and I just closed a contract for $1 million for his book." So his TEDx became the calling card that pushed his idea forward all the way to a book. So when you talk about ideas, you want to find that idea that is kind of the one that's going to take you the furthest. Does that make sense? Next question. I have a question here that came. Can I apply to any TEDx in the world? So I mentioned look local. What I mean by look local means is, as I said, TEDx events are designed to bring the community together and to share ideas and best practices in the community. That means that the best thing is to start looking for local events. Now, if you don't find events that match your theme, or you live in a place that they don't have events, then by all means, you can spread your wings. And to that point, sometimes you might have a better chance of landing at TEDx in another community or another country than in your own. Let me give you an example. Last year I worked with Dr. O'Keefe, which I mentioned to you already, and he is based in US, and he ended up actually speaking in Europe, in Ireland. And why it just happened that we were looking at where he should speak, and he said, "Well, the month of October, I'm not going to be in the US, I'm going to be in Europe for work." And I said, "What stops you from speaking in England? Actually, in the UK?" And he ended up applying to an event. It ended up being in Ireland, got selected, and was very successful. His talk has been watched over 800,000 times. So another question I get all the time is, should I be nominated, or should I apply to speak? Here's the answer to that. If you have someone that has a connection to the curating team where you want to speak, by all means, have them nominate you, because as anything, networking is important. And if someone else can give you their seal of approval and nominate you, it's a great way to do it. Now, the difference between being nominated and applying to an event where neither you nor the person nominating you has a connection with the curating team, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. So that's my answer to that. But if you ever have like a client or someone you've worked with or a colleague that really is a cheerleader of yours, then by all means have them nominate you. Another question I have is, what are the benefits of speaking at TEDx? You probably know some, you probably have some ideas, but let me tell you what has happened to my clients that have speaking at a TEDx event. So I talked about my client who just closed a book contract just for North America for $1.4 million and has multiple book contracts for the US, each one of them for 6 figures. What role did the TEDx play in that? One, it was through the TEDx that he clarified his idea and allowed him to move forward. Two, the TEDx became his calling card. So whenever he was pitching to a book agent or to a publishing company, the TEDx talk was what he talked about and what his book was about. 3, what are other benefits? I have a client, a speaker who spoke at an event last year, and she since then has doubled the rate of her speaking engagements, and she's speaking almost weekly. And her book has been has become required reading at some colleges. What else? I have, well, you saw Fabian's testimonial. Through the process of her TEDx, she ended up having a clarity that now has allowed her company to grow. So the advantages of speaking on a TEDx stage are really, really important. And for me as a coach doing this work, one of the things that moves me the most, and I'm going to give you the example of Dr. Keefe, is that his talk was about bringing a conversation that was a very controversial conversation in the world today. And yes, his talk has been viewed almost 800,000 times or 750 something thousand times, many times. And as I review it from time to time, and I go and see some of the comments that people have left under his talk, and some of the comments are people writing, "Thank you, Dr. Keefe, for telling me that I'm not a mistake." And so for me as a coach, why do I do this work? Because I believe that the people that I end up working with are people who are called to bring a conversation to the world that has the capacity of shifting people's perspective and making their lives better. And so for me, that's how I measure my success. If I was able to help somebody else through their message. Leah, you're nominating Dee but getting no responses from event organizers. Couple things to look for. Number 1, keep on going after it. Number 2, make sure her idea is very tangible. Event organizers are looking to have not necessarily stories, but concrete ideas that can be transferred to the audience so that the audience can walk away with a strategy to better their lives or try something new. So Leah, just look at the application and make sure that you are accomplishing that goal. So we're getting to the end of a webinar, and I want to make sure if there's any other questions that I need to answer. I'm scanning through the chat. Deborah, will the group calls be recorded on my way for 2 weeks in July? Yes, they will be recorded, and you will get the recording, so no worries about that. Margot, are you in? Let me know. So I look forward to our private session. Remember, the first 5 that register right now will get 30 minutes with me, and that is valued at $500. By the way, if anybody would like to explore working fully privately with me, and Jessica, you can paste that link there. I also have a private program where I meet with you 6 times. 6 private sessions with me on top of the 6 group calls. The price of that program is $2,500, but I only take 2 people on that program every month, and I have the 2 openings coming up. So if you're interested in that program, just let me know or have Jessica post that link there. So if there are any more questions, I'm going to switch into dancing mode and I'll stay here for a little while longer with some music. If there's any other questions that you would like to ask me, but if not, I want to leave the last 5 minutes for dancing together. And I hope you join me dancing in your wherever you are, in your office, in your home office, in your cubicle. And if you want to just take yourself a selfie, or and I'll answer that, Margot, in 1 second. If you take a selfie dancing, please do so, and then share it on Facebook. By the way, there's a group I want you to be part of. I'm sure you're already in it. Is My Idea Was Sharing in Facebook. Jessica, can you post a link to that? That is a free group that everybody's welcome to be part of, and that's where I post a lot of insights. And whenever an event comes up, an application comes up, I post it there. Margot, what is my favorite TEDx talk? Ooh, I really like Simon's talk. I know Margot you had put Amy Cuddy's talk. I love that one. You know which one is my favorite talk? And Jessica, see if you can find it. His name is D, and it's all about leadership. If you type, Jessica, if you put on YouTube D, it's not, what was his name? Let me see if I can find it quickly here. It's only, let me know. I'll find it here. Hold on. I'll get it for you. TED leadership. This is one of the best talks I've ever seen. It's this guy here, Drew Dudley. Here it is. I'm gonna post it here for you guys. Because he's very, very funny, but he's also very clear on what he is trying to share. So I posted right there. Deborah, I cannot wait to work together. I'm signing off, but you're signing off, I know, but I'll follow up with an email so we can schedule our time. And without further ado, let's dance. Post your question. I will stay here for a few minutes. Trust me, if we work together, we're going to be dancing all the time. And Jessica, can you please put the link to the program one more time before we leave? You're welcome, Margot. I hope we get a chance to work together very soon. Frederick, you've been silent today. Any questions?